So the volume is up kind of high. I'm going to say it's at 8 out of 10. Then these other two big buttons, I can't read this and I can't see the little thing on there, the notch, or there's a little arrow, but it's like black on black, so forget that. So I'm going to go here, the one on the bottom or the left is the tone, and I don't want much. I'm going to put it in the middle. It's really a thickener, so think of it that way. It's not an average tone. I'm really just using feel. But one of the things about this guitar is you will find that you feel a certain way that it's set up feels kind of right for you. And you might just keep it like that for a long, long time and play it, and it sounds amazing, make a little adjustment here and there, but not much. And there will be more likely that you make an adjustment. It will be more likely if you have the thing plugged in or not. And it is the same control panel. And if it's plugged in, it automatically powers on. And then it powers right off if you unplug it. So you're great. That is all using battery, as long as the little light's on. When it's not plugged in, then it's off. But if you hold the volume button down, it comes on. Now you're playing it acoustic and unplugged and using those neat controls. And it's really fun. It's interesting. You can try that and do that, and you'll once again be using the battery. But now you'll maybe have a different reason for turning up the internal microphone to get some kind of feel. Or it might sound too hollow that way. And when you're recording with headphones on, when it's plugged in, I dial that mic down. I really don't want to hear a lot of it. I just have that's the third switch, and that's what I'm doing right now. But that adjustment might be different, particularly if you're unplugged, but unplugged. So I'm going to turn that little mic on a little bit. I'm going to show you what the difference is. It does start to sound a little hollow, and it depends on what you're doing. That's off. That's up maybe a third. Toggle. Now that sounds pretty cool, and it does start to sound like I'm going to go up now. Here it's pretty high. Nothing against it. Sounds terrific, but that's... I don't even have any... I didn't dial anything on the bottom two, which are like chorus and reverb, I guess, or delay. The way it works is the left is reverb, and there's... I can't see it, but I believe there's two different ones. The left side is bringing up that first one. Then you get to the top, and it goes to nothing until you start dialing up the second version of reverb on the right side of the spectrum of the circle of the knob. And on this, it actually is, the left side is like a chorus, and the right side is a delay. The delay is cool, and when you turn it, you can make it go really slow. So, by the way, if you don't have it plugged in, you'd still have to have the volume knob turned up, because it acts as the volume knob for the effects. And I've seen some reviews where people are saying nothing happens, and I'm thinking, did you turn the volume up? Which is not intuitive. So I'm going to make sure the volume's up, and I'm going to turn my delay here. That's completely within the guitar, and it's very cool. I like it. I like the idea of having it. So, and it just fades out, but the only control you have here is going to be the speed of it. Turning the speed down, it just happens to be as you turn it to the right. It's the lowest. So I would do something like this, like a hoppy beat. So I'm going to turn it all the way off. Because, oh, wait a sec. Yeah, all right. I had my mic, by the way, also turned way up when we did that. You want to hear what it sounds like with the mic off? Or I'm going to turn the mic up a quarter of the way, approximately. And then I'm going to put the delay on real low, just a little bit. I'm going to play for it just so you can hear. This is a little bit more what the guitar sounds like. When you have that mic on, it really does pick up ambience as well as the guitar. So that's why you can hear my voice. It's kind of weird in the echo. But now you can't because I turned the mic all the way up. And now I turn the mic on. It picks up stuff, you know, so it's not pure. And I want you to hear the guitar, so I'm going to turn the mic all the way off. Then let's listen to the delay basically all the way up, which is on its slowest speed. And I'm going to make it a little faster. Definitely usable, and you know, I'm not going to comment on whether it's the best delay I've ever heard or the best sounding box of effects, because what you're competing in is a new space here. This isn't anything that you can compare anything to, really. These work oddly, even when the guitar's unplugged. Kind of weird, but that's the same mechanism as when it is plugged. So you really, it's not bad. Considering this is a little thing inside there. It's got a little mic and it's got a little vibrating thing. I think they call it an actuator. Let's just turn my delay all the way off. I'm going to turn the reverb all the way off, so both the bottom buttons. I'm going to take my tone. I don't remember where the tone was. Let's just feel it. In the middle. I'm a little less than middle. It gets thick, and when you strum it, you'll feel real heavy, and it might even sound muddy. So I'm not gonna, don't turn. The tone knob does not make it trebly when you turn it up. And the way they describe it in the book, or whatever, the little manual, which I got in English, some people older, when they were very new, got a Chinese manual, but I got an English one, and it does explain that the tone does something. And what it says is not that it makes it bassy when it's down and trebly when it's hot. It makes it thicker, basically. I'm just going to use my own word there. And it is nice. So tone all the way down, chords. Tone all the way up, same chord. There's no change in tone there, unless you think of tone in a different way. So this tone knob is a little unique. And really on any guitar, volume and tone do things to the way the guitar sounds, particularly when you're plugged in or if it's an electric guitar. And this being a unique guitar, that's not that unusual. I don't think that's unusual. They have some sort of proprietary thing going on with the tone. But don't think, hey, mine's broken because I don't get all trebly and stuff. It never will. It doesn't have that control on it, and it doesn't do it. The balance of the string sounds and the volume of each string compared to each other is just top-notch, top-notch. You will hear everything you do on this fingerboard. So I'm going to turn that, like I said, I'm going to have it up. I'm just feeling it a little less than halfway. I'm going to turn my mic up a little bit, but not much, because I don't want to hear it. And I want to hear anything that it might pick up. Now, the volume control, and it's true for all guitars, but this is a loud guitar. Yeah, so I could go on about where your volume control should be set and suggest to you that it's different electrics, different acoustics, you're going to be less tolerant. This loud guitar is also more tolerant of having a PA system, and it doesn't tend to feed back at all until it gets so loud that you're way with the drums. You're fine. You could play this with drums, where you might not be able to play an acoustic guitar normally or have trouble. And the volume on this is incredible. And the volume coming out of the output jack is also thick and strong. And when you turn up the volume, it seems to thicken it a little bit. I back off. And do try that, listen to it, and even put headphones on and listen to it. That's my volume at about 80%. And that's where I would put it on this guitar all the time, unless there was a reason. And I'd check it and I'd see. When you go like this, you might be fine until you get to that part of the song where it's like, I mean, that is loud. These are balanced, by the way. This is normal settings, and that's my vocal sound, and that's how loud the guitar is. Test 1, 2, 3. That's really loud. I'm not going to adjust that when I produce the video. It's louder than the microphone. It's loud, which is normally they'd be around the same. So I turned it down. I have built in more if I ever needed to battle with somebody, right? For volume. When you're picking individual notes, you might turn it way up because that's just a beautiful thing. It makes it really feel like an electric guitar. Hard not to play this guitar. It is just a beauty. By the way, just to put it in the notes, but I put Thomas stick 10s on this. So they're super slinky, I guess you could call it, but you do not need to hit this guitar hard to make sound come out of it. And this guitar is fairly precise, the neck and the way it's built. I'm not going to say that's a problem, but I've heard a lot of reviews on the reviews online about a slight buzzing, and I had a slight buzzing, but I didn't want to mess with it. I wanted to play it as it had arrived and just get a feel for it before I did anything. But nevertheless, after I played it for 5 or 6 hours, I changed the strings. So it came with a coated string, and I don't like those. Can't figure out how that could possibly be better unless you're storing your guitar and you don't want the strings to corrode. But it's odd still. Everything about coated strings to me seems suboptimal. So I didn't want to continue to use them, but I thought, this is a reputable company. They put them on there, and I'm gonna play it and see how it felt. And it was fine. It did sound good. But those were 12s. And so they're a little bit bigger of a string, and I got a little slight buzzing, and it depended in a kind of almost irritating way on how hard you push down. And on this guitar, you do not need to push down to hit the wood when you make that note. It's actually, this distance is not small. It's a brand new guitar, and you actually change the note a little bit as you. It also hurts your finger more. You don't have to push that hard, and it'll sing the note perfectly. But it was super sensitive to that, and that would sometimes, even though you're still pressing it not too hard, making a good note, on some notes it would still have this slight buzzing that it was like you could barely hear it, but it was there. And that's just a symptom of something that could be adjusted a small amount, obviously. But changing the strings to 10s. Hallelujah. I didn't do anything else since I took it out of the box. So then I probably proceeded to play it about 15 hours before I made this video over the past 2 days. Very easy to do, by the way. There aren't a lot of acoustic guitars that are, I'm going to say it's easy to play. And if you have technique, that you want to practice, and at a more advanced level, it will reward you. So you're talking about a guitar that you can hear the difference if you're playing softly, if you're playing an intricate thing, or you really want to really perform and have it be consistent and be able to have a little bit of control. And so this guitar, you could play it loud and you could play it soft. Is kind of where I'm going with that, and everything in between, and it will respond. So I'm going to just do one song here for y'all. This is an Enya EA-X4 Pro. I did not get paid to play this guitar. I got a little discount buying it, and thank you to the company for that, but it's just a couple $100. It's a nice guitar. I will not lie. I have a 2-track running, and I'm going to do a tune for you. I recommend if you want to drop $1,000 on a guitar, if you can get your hands on one, try it. You won't want to take your hands off it. So I guess I can't recommend though blind buying something, although I did and I'm happy. So that's my recommendation. It's a guitar, it's a musical instrument. It'd be nice if you could hold it in your hands and play it. I'm going to try and emulate what you might do if you had it, and try and play it and sort of let you play with the controls. I'll do it and you can hear what it sounds like. That's the best I can do. And now I'll play a song for you. This is, and then we'll take a break. How's that? Jules Shear. I actually met Jules Shear at a radio convention in Boulder, Colorado, years ago. He wrote a couple of hit songs for Cyndi Lauper, and he's a pretty nice guy. He's a laid-back guy. He lives in New York, and we kind of became friends. I did an interview with him later when he played in Massachusetts. I just drove up, and we kind of hung out before the show, and I interviewed him. And he's a great songwriter. He's got a knack for the lyric. This is called Let's Go Slow. Come on in and get off your feet. I can't think of any good place that I gotta be. I don't want the world to go away. I got the news to tell me what went wrong today. And I've always got time to look at you and feel that you're beside me as we walk. And when you've got something that I really need to hear, you press yourself against me as you talk. Let's go slow, see what the details show. I'm not in a hurry, let's go slow, see what the details show. I'm not gonna worry when I look at you and find myself. I'm never thinking while we're here I'm missing something else. I lived my life always running late, thinking something wasn't really real unless it fades. But there's soup on the stove and you're here with me, and that makes me feel fine. All the flavors come together easily. It just takes a little time. Let's go slow. See what the details show. I'm not in a hurry. Let's go slow. See what the details show. I'm not gonna worry. I'm trying to feel my way, one step at a time, and not step on a crack. If you ask me about my direction, I'll only know by looking back. Slow. The details show. I'm not in a hurry. Let's go slow. See what the details show. I'm not gonna worry.